Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I was going to do yet another video on the Delphi murders. I had a lot of feedback on the last couple of videos. I had viewers reaching out to me and asking me to pull cards on a particular person that they were looking at as a suspect, and so I had enough of those people come forward to the point to where it's kind of hard to do a video on each person. So I have a couple of suspects here that I've been keeping track of that people have mentioned to me. I have a CM, I'm not going to say their names, a CM. I will say that this person is an anthropologist at one of the Indiana colleges. And I have an NCG and a couple of other people that I'm, kind of interested in and just kind of seeing where the cards are saying. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to do a video. Oh, and before I go on, I do want to say I appreciate and I thank you for the feedback that you guys are giving me on my volume. I am in the process of ordering a mic because I do use iMovie to do the volume and increase the volume, but I see that that's not working enough. So I do appreciate the feedback, guys, and thank you for being kind about it, because some people aren't, and so it's whatever, but I do appreciate the feedback, and I am working on that, and I apologize. So thanks for sticking in there with me and hanging with me. I did want to do this video a little bit different today. Usually I have my camera on the cards themselves, but maybe it would help the volume if I'm actually maybe talking into the camera. I don't know. So I am going to show you the cards that I draw, and I am going to be drawing the cards like I always do, but the camera will be on me, unfortunately. So what I wanted to do today was do a poll on all of the characteristics of the murderer, and so that's what I want this reading to focus on. So I've even got a pad of paper and my pen. I'm going to be writing down things that stick out. So all of this is, oh, and another thing before I forget, I did want to mention, I really appreciate the feedback in people on the last video, because I think I said that the murders took place on the 14th. That's not the case. It was the 13th. The girls were found the following day on the 14th. So I do know that. I realize that. I think I just wasn't, tuned in completely on that video, and I do appreciate you guys bringing it to my attention in a kind way. I appreciate that. But it is important, especially when you're doing cards, to have all the information correct. There's information obviously we don't know, so we can't be 100% on everything. But the information that we do know should be correct, and the date is a very important fact in the pulling of the cards, and just in general, it's important to have the correct date. So I do apologize about that. Yes, the murder took place, or the murders, I should say, took place on February 13th in Delphi, Indiana, 2017. They searched all evening, all through the night. The police called their search off, but I believe that family members and friends continued to search throughout the evening. It wasn't until the following day, on the 14th, that they found the girls. And I don't remember exactly the time. I want to say it was maybe around 11 a.m., 11 in the morning, somewhere around that, but maybe it was 1. I don't know. I can't quite remember. But anyway, I do want to apologize about that. So for today's reading, it is going to be strictly gathering characteristics on the murderer of Abby and Libby. What can we get about this person, or people, rather? What's going on? What does he look like? Is he I will say this. I do feel like this person is married. I feel like this person has children. I feel like this person has one child in particular that is very, very young. I do believe that this person is from Delphi and still resides in Delphi, has considered to leave, would like to leave, but for whatever reason cannot. So those are so far things that I am convinced about myself. It's just my opinion. And for those of you who are curious, I am using the Everyday Witches Tarot deck. And I do have a traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck here as well, in case I need to switch off. This is a deck that is also based off of the traditional 78 card tarot deck. So it is somewhat like a traditional, but images are a bit more modern, which is why I like it. It's a bit more modern. Okay, so I'm going to pull, and then I will show you guys the cards as well. Okay, so we're looking at suspect characteristics. Suspect characteristics. Okay, so just pull out a few more. All right, so I pulled 10 cards, and the 5th card that I pulled is the Empress. So to me, okay, the Empress, that is definitely, that's that mother nurturing, that's that, you know, that nurturing figure, the mother figure in the relationship. And I do believe that that is representing this person's wife. I do believe that he is married. I honestly, I am getting the impression that she was in fact pregnant when this murder took place. So I do think that this is a woman who has had a child recently. This child would probably be at this point, I don't know, 3 to 4 or 5 years old at this point now. That's what I meant by recent. I do think it was something that was happening around that time. So I still get that. I still feel like there's a wife, and a wife that has a fairly young child, not a baby anymore, but a fairly young child, preschool age. Again, I pulled the King of Pentacles, so I do think that this is a man who you know, likes to present himself as being powerful and having material possessions and being someone of importance, and he could actually be that, or it could be an illusion in his mind. So I think that this is also a person who likes material possessions. You know, he likes to have that facade of being, you know, wealthy. He likes that. You know, definitely someone who likes to be able to splurge, and you know, sometimes even uses that as a show to show people that he can afford to do that. So you know, I also, you know, and just looking at the images, this guy, he may have a dog, okay, which isn't a very uncommon thing, but you know, I do think that this is somebody who likes to portray affluence. And then we have the 10 of Cups, which is a happy card. It's that happy family card. And so I do think that I think that he likes to portray that he is a all-American happy family guy. You know, the house, the kids, the pets, you know, everything that, you know, everybody wants or many people want and desire to have in their life. I think he tries to put out that that's what he has successfully achieved in his life. But I think that behind that, there's a lot of, there's that baby again, you know, you've got that baby back there with that bassinet. And I think behind it though, if you look at that river or that body of water back here, you've got the waves there. I think that that indicates that, you know, this is kind of, yeah, that's what you see on the outside, but that's not necessarily what's going on inside, because there are those slight waves in that water, and I look at that as kind of, you know, some things, some what's the word I'm looking for? Some issues that is behind this, this happy family picture that he's putting out. And then we have the Sun card. So the Sun card is that wonderful, happy, warm, joyous, warm feeling, fuzzy feeling card. This is just, and it's got 3 women. It's almost like a generational card. It's like you have the mom, the daughter, and the granddaughter. So it's like a generational card, and so that's the message that I'm taking with this card, because one of 2 things. We know that when I look at this card, if I've ever pulled this card in a situation like an unsolved crime, to me this is like a happy ending, that this will be resolved at some time. Okay, so we don't know when, but there is going to be a happy ending. There is going to be some closure, and so that could be what the celebration is referring to. However, this card in this situation, and because of the fact that these 3 women here, the generational connection here, that's what popped out to me. So I'm wondering if there is, again, I feel like there's something going on with the wife. I really do. I feel like there's something going on with the wife and the child and the maybe the mother-in-law or the mother. I kind of wonder if they're going to be the answers to this issue. If they're going to be some people may not agree with this. I do feel like the wife knows. I don't know if anybody else knows beyond the wife. Maybe the wife has confided into somebody. Maybe she's confided into her own mother, or maybe his own mother suspects. But I do feel like there's some connection to the women in his life. Okay, and I do believe that the women in his life are going to ultimately be the ones that are going to bring closure to this case. And then we have the World. Okay, so the World is actually the Sun is a major arcana as well. The World is a major arcana. The Empress is a major arcana. The Tower is a major arcana. And the Hanged Man is a major arcana. So he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcanas out of a 10-card pull. That's half of the deck, or that's half of the pull is a major arcana. So there's some shit going down in his life. Okay, there's some major things going on in his life. That's the good news, because I think that that's okay, especially this Tower card. That means, his world is collapsing around him. But anyway, back to the World card. I feel like this is, basically this is like an ending of a cycle. This is like the closure, everything has come full circle. You've completed all your tasks. You went through all the cycles of, that you had to go through. You learned all the lessons that you had to learn. And now you're getting ready to start all over again. And are you going to take those lessons that you learned and use that to move forward? And it's kind of like with her throwing her hat out in the air, it's just kind of like this release. It's just completion. I don't know. I think, to me, this kind of yells vacation to me. I do think that this is, maybe an indication that this is the type of person that would like to get the hell out of Dodge but can't. It maybe is longing for that. I think that he would love to leave. I think that I don't know about the wife or the family, but I think that he would love to leave. I think that he's hesitant to do so because, number one, he may not have the means to do so, and number two, it would look really highly suspicious if he did pack up and leave, and I don't think he wants to draw that kind of attention to him. But I think that he would feel better if he was out of there. I also think and wonder if this is the wife coming forward. I do think that the wife knows, and this might be that relief or that just that tension being gone if she could report him, okay, and turn him in, and this would represent her feelings of just such a relief if she could get that off of her shoulders. And then we have the Nine of Wands, which is kind of like, in this card, it's being defensive. You know, so you're fighting battles. I wonder if this is a person who, I don't know, you know, that makes me wonder. Defensive. So does he feel like people are looking at him? It makes me wonder if he feels like people are looking at him, maybe people from Delphi, or maybe even family and friends, and maybe he always feels like he's having to be defensive. I don't know, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Could also represent an outdoorsy person because this is a woman outside. And then we have him. Okay, so then we have the Tower. The Tower is just all hell breaking loose, okay? This is just his world. This is his world crashing down around him. Okay, this is what's going to happen. This is a good card to get for a situation like this. It's a scary card to pull. I know that when I do readings for myself and I pull the Tower, I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What is this catastrophe that's going to happen? But we have to remember that when you do pull the Tower card, it's something that needed to happen in order for you to move forward. So it kind of like is, it's a scary card, but it's also a good card. And it's one of those cards that you don't have control of this taking over in your life. It's the universe doing this. And the universe knows what's best for us. And so oftentimes you will have an event like the Tower happen in your life and you feel absolutely beyond yourself at the time of when it's happening. It's only until later that you can look back and say, oh my God, yeah, I'm so glad that that happened, because if that hadn't happened, maybe XYZ wouldn't have happened. Okay, so, but in this case, I do feel like it's his story, his whole, you know, fake persona is literally just crumbling from within. Things are falling apart. Things are not going the way he wants them to go. Okay, they are not going the way he wants them to go, and he is literally watching everything crash around him. So that's a good one. And then we have the Page of Swords. Pages in tarot are young people or young ideas. Okay, so this is someone on their journey. Doesn't matter necessarily how old they are, but it could be an older person that's learning a new skill or learning a new task or taking a new path in life. Okay, somebody who is trying out a different religion. They could be, you know, 60 years old, but maybe something has sparked in them and they're experiencing different routes of spirituality. It's something new basically for them to learn. And so I see books, I see a backpack, I see a feather, I see kind of like it almost makes me wonder about his child. I do feel like there's more than one child, and I do feel like one child is older than the other. And I think that that child has come up here, okay, in the Sun card. And I think that that child has come up here in the Ten of Cups, okay? So the child, I think that there's an older child, and I think that the older child is a part of this as well, and maybe suspects. I don't know. And then we have the Four of Swords, which is the rest card. This is giving up. This is rest. Sometimes, you know, to me, it can also symbolize death, although I don't like to use tarot to, you know, consider death. I don't really like, there are some cards that make, and it's not even the death card. That's the ironic thing about it. The death card in tarot means a transition. So something old has to die before you can have room to allow something new to come in. But there are cards in the tarot that do kind of look like, okay, yeah, you know what, you're you're done. And that one of those cards is, for me, the Four of Swords. So I do kind of take this as a good card, a good omen card again for this case, because I feel like his time is almost up. He's got the Tower card and the Four of Swords, okay? If that doesn't mean that your time is up and you're about to be done, I don't know what does. And you know what? Smack dab in the middle of that, I have the Tower card, the Page of Swords, and the Four of Swords. Smack dab in the middle of that is that Page of Swords, that child. So I wonder if, you know, I honestly, I'm going to say it. I think that there's a child, an older child, that may know something or may suspect something and may say something. And I said in one of my last videos that the wife, I suspect that the wife knows something, and I'm wondering if there's more people in his life that know something besides the wife. Perhaps there's a mother-in-law, a child. All these women, I think, are going to play a role in this man's downfall, I think. And then we have the Hangman, which is, you know, a stagnant card. This is a person who is not happy, but they're not miserable either. They're just kind of there. They're hanging out. It's not a comfortable position, but it is comfortable for them. It's just one of those cards where, you know, you have people that are not per se happy with the way their life is, but they're not completely disappointed, but they're comfortable. And they don't want to step out of their box to see what else is out there. So that's what this is. So this tells me that, you know, I think that I don't know. I honestly think that in this case, oh, you know what though? Look at the clouds behind him. Look at that. I mean, those are clouds. That's like a storm coming in. That's like a storm brewing, okay? So I kind of feel like in this situation, shit's about to happen with him. I think things are not looking good. And I know it's been 4 years, and you know, we don't got a whole lot of information, or hardly any more information than we did 3.5 years ago, but I do think there's something brewing. I really do. I feel like that. All right, so now let's go over some of the characteristics that are coming out to me. First of all, you know, I'm wondering if there is a blonde wife. You know, is this wife blonde? So, I'm going to write down blonde wife. I do think that there's more than one child. I kind of feel like there's an older child and a younger child. The younger child, I feel like, was born around the time that the murders took place. So that child would probably be in the 4 or 5 years old age range right now. So 4 to 5 years old. I do think that the older child is a daughter. I think it's a girl. And I'm saying that simply because a girl is in the 10 of Cups, a girl is in the Sun. Even the 9 of Wands, there's a girl. The 9 of Wands, when I pulled the defensive card that I told you about, you know, that kind of does look like a young girl. Very defensive, feeling like she has to defend herself or someone else. So is this the daughter, the older daughter? Is this a person that, you know, is constantly defending her father? Are people saying things to her? Are people suspecting, and are they blatantly saying things to her? And is she constantly defending him, or is she defending herself? I don't know. I do think that this family owns more than one dog. Possibly a cat. But definitely more than one dog. I think there's at least 2 dogs, 2 family dogs, and at least 1 or 2 cats even. I also feel like I don't know. I'm looking at this Empress card, and for some reason the apple trees behind the Empress is coming out to me. So there's something going on with apples. I don't know. I know that I live in Indiana as well, and more closer to the Michigan side than where this took place. But, you know, very close to Michigan apples and apple season. So lots of apples going on, a lot of apple trees. So do they have a home that has a couple of apple trees? Do they live near an orchard? I don't know. There's something going on with the two apple trees and the color red. So the color red is coming out. I've got two cards here with pregnancy. I've got the Empress is pregnant, and the woman here, this woman here, is pregnant. So we've got two pregnant women. I do say women. I'm not showing, I do feel like the pregnancy is definitely from an older woman. You know, I know that some people have mentioned one of the girls being pregnant. I have never drawn anything that indicated that. I do feel like pregnancy comes out in the Delphi case when people are reading on it, because I feel like honestly it's the wife of the killer that was pregnant, and I feel like that's where the pregnancy feels and vibes are coming in, because I too pull a lot of pregnancies. I've got two pregnant women here, but I don't think it's one of the girls. I think it's the wife of him that was pregnant. And perhaps she's had even another child since that. So I'm even going to go for the gander and say that there could be there's at least two children. There might be even three. So definitely more than one child. And one of those children is going to be about 4 or 5 at this point. No older than 6. I don't think so. So maybe 3 kids, maybe one younger than that, maybe a child younger than 4 or 3. I do think that I see a cow in the King of Pentacles card. I do see a cow. I'm getting this house. If you notice, this house is like kind of out in the middle of nowhere. When I think of cows, I think of farms. I think of, you know, farms that are outside of town, outside of the city limits. I do feel like this person lives outside of town. I think that he is a Delphi resident. The children would probably go to Delphi schools and whatnot. They're Delphi city residents, but they live outside of Delphi. I think they could potentially live more near open land, which isn't very uncommon in that area. It is a very rural area, so this is probably not uncommon, but I do wonder if they do live close to where cows would be. You know, I don't know if they would have a farm themselves. I don't, you know, between the orchard and the apple orchard and the cows and the farm, you know, I'm thinking of some home that's out, you know, 5 miles outside of town. You know, a family that could have a couple of acres, a farmhouse, a couple of animals. You know, maybe a couple apple trees. That's kind of what I'm thinking. And then, let me see. Yeah, I think so far for characteristics, I think the wife is a blonde. I do think that she's a blonde. I will say that. I've said that. So we've got blonde wife, more than one child, possibly 3. One of those children is going to be about 4 or 5 years old. I think that the older child is a girl. I think that they have more than one dog, possibly more than one cat. There's something going on with the color red. And I do believe that they live on a large piece of land. I think that they have at least a couple of acres. I think that they live outside of town. They might have some cattle. They might have yeah, so and I will say this again, I've always said that I think that this man likes to look like he has power and look like he has money. And I think that they may be comfortable, but I don't think that they're anywhere near off of how he likes to portray it. And you know, it's stupid. Well, it's not stupid, but whenever I pull this King of Pentacles, the only thing that I see sometimes is, you know, I see that top pentacle on top of, you know, his throne, and then I see that cake and I see the glass of wine. You know, so there's some significance to everything in a tarot card. You have to look at every single thing. That's why sometimes when I'm reading cards, I can literally stare at these things, you know, for forever, it seems like, and just pick apart each item in the card. Everything in these cards has a purpose and an intention. And it's just what comes out at you at that given time, you know, is the message that you need to take away from it. So I try to be a little bit quicker when I'm doing videos, because I know no one wants to just stare at me staring at a card for 20 minutes and then giving you my opinion on what it is. But, you know, as I'm looking at it more, I do notice the cake. And so, you know, is this a man who has a sweet tooth? Okay. Does he have a sweet tooth? Does he like to drink? You know, we've got a cake, we've got a glass of wine, we've got alcohol. This might be the kind of guy that, you know, or maybe the wife likes to bake, you know, so that's a possibility too. So let's pull a couple of traditional tarot cards, and then I will try to keep this short. Again, I apologize about the volume, guys. I really do. I'm going to try to get the mic. I'm going to run this through iMovie and see if I can enhance the volume. And maybe just the perspective of being in the camera will help a little bit too. Okay. So, what's some more characteristics that we can get about this guy? This guy and his family. Murder suspect. Delphi. Murder suspect. Okay, so I will say this. When I said that he is trying to portray being wealthier than he really is, or better off than he really is, I definitely say I'm sticking to that. I've got the Two of Pentacles. This is somebody who is borrowing from Bill to pay Tom. Okay, this is somebody who is, you know, you see the pentacles are not balanced. They're off balance. Okay, so this is somebody who is, you know, struggling and not able to, you know, kind of catch up. Okay, so this is definitely somebody who is trying to put out this idea that he is doing way better than what he actually is doing. Okay, so this man is not as financially secure and put together as he wants everybody to think. Okay, he's not, you know, finances aren't nowhere near what he wants everybody to think. Now, I will say this. I do kind of feel like he watches these videos. I think he watches these videos. I think he's very into any kind of video on Delphi. I think he watches everything that's been put out there about him. I think he enjoys that, you know, and whenever the High Priestess comes up in a pull, this is somebody I feel that has perhaps reached out to a psychic, a tarot reader, you know, anybody in the metaphysical world type situation. I do think that he's curious. I think that he's curious. I don't necessarily know if he believes these types of things, but he believes enough to take an interest in what people are saying about him. Okay, so I will say that I do believe that he watches these things. He's seen every video on this case, everything. Okay, I think the wife as well. I think that they both watch as much as they can. Maybe not her so much as him. I think he almost kind of, I think at times, if people are way off, he's enjoying it and he's laughing. But if people are close, it kind of bothers him and it concerns him. So I do think that that's what this card is indicating. And then we have the Three of Pentacles, which is typically teamwork. Okay, this is people working together. This could be a couple of different things. This could be a business that he has, that he, you know, maybe he owns a third of that business, or, you know, maybe it's a family-run business, or, you know, this could also indicate that he wasn't working alone. Okay, so, you know, were there 3 people? Was there 2? You know, I don't know. So this is basically teamwork. This is 3 people working together to create something. And then you have the Nine of Cups, which is I always, when I look at the traditional Rider-Waite images on the Nine of Cups, this is a guy who is just content. He's content with what he has. Okay, he's achieved all of these things up here and he's proud of it. He's got them showing off. He's sitting in front of it, so he's proud and he's content. Okay, so that's what this card is. You know, I think in this situation, honestly, in this situation, what's coming out to me is the hat. The hat is coming out to me. I do think that this is somebody who wears a hat, so I'm going to put that down too. This is someone who wears a hat. Notice that that hat is red. I've already said the color red. There's something going on with the color red. So wears a hat. And again, if you look at this card here, the Two of Pentacles, this guy is also wearing a red hat. He also has red stockings, but, you know, he's got that. Both of these hats are kind of different looking. You know, so I think that he wears a hat, but he sometimes wears something a little bit odd, which would go with the picture of the bridge guy on the bridge. There's a lot of speculation on what kind of hat that man is wearing. You know, is it a hat? Is it, you know, the hat that has the flaps down the side? Is it just a regular, you know, there's a lot of, you know, I don't honestly even know if they've come out and been able to confirm what kind of hat it is. But I do think that he wears a hat. And I think that it's an odd shaped hat. Now, he may have stopped wearing that afterwards, because I do think that he tried to change up his appearance after the fact. So this is somebody, I think that, again, look at these 2 cards here, if you can see them. you've got in one card you have a man with a beard, and the other card you have a man without a beard. Okay, so I do feel like there's something going on with facial hair. So I'm going to also add that. So facial hair. And I think that he shaves. I think that because in this card here, in the Ten of Cups, he's clean shaven. Okay. And then this card, okay, with the King of Pentacles, he's kind of got, I wouldn't say a full-size beard, but it's like that 5 o'clock. He's definitely got a mustache, but he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow. So I definitely think this is a person who sometimes has a beard and sometimes he doesn't have a beard. I think that that's something that he changes depending on what he wants to look like at that given time. Okay, so let me pull like 1 or 2 more cards. And then let's see what we got here. Okay. So, you cannot make this shit up, guys. We have the Ten of Cups here, and we have the Ten of Cups here. This is that happy ending card. So I do feel like that is a sign that this case is going to be solved. We don't know when. I don't know when. What is, you know, what is the date associated with that? Could it be, you know, 10 weeks, 10 months, 10 years? I think I said that in a previous video, and I said, God, I hope not. But I don't really know. I don't have the answer to when it is going to be solved. I do feel like I can confidently tell you that it will be solved eventually. And I don't think it's actually going to be as far away as we suspect, because I think with this tower, that tells me that shit is already starting to fall apart. Okay, his little tower house that he built there, his little whatever, it's starting to crumble, and it's happening now. I do believe it's happening now. He's not doing very well financially, and I do think that there are people talking. I think he's suspected. I think people suspect him in town. I think that the police know who he is. I think that they're just waiting on a little bit more information to go forward with making an arrest, and I think that he knows he's being watched, and he knows he's very, very close. And he's just kind of, he's just kind of waiting. He feels bound. He feels like he can't leave. He can't do anything. His hands are tied. He's financially not doing very well. The wife knows, possibly children know. I just don't think he's just kind of like waiting for it to happen. Okay. That's kind of what I think. And I think it's closer than what we think. And then, of course, you know, you have the 4 of Wands, or the 4 of Swords. So I do think it's over for him soon. I really do. And so I pulled these last 2 cards, was the King of Swords and the 10 of Cups. So the King of Swords is a poker player. This is a guy who doesn't take any bullshit, okay? He sees through the bullshit. He cuts through the bullshit. I don't think this is the killer, though. I don't think this is him. I don't think that's him. I think this is somebody else who's going to take him down. I do think that this is representing somebody working on the case. It's somebody working on the case. And you know what the king does? The king is a good poker player. The king is somebody who doesn't take bullshit. He sits, he observes. He doesn't have to talk a lot. He knows what he's doing. He's quiet, but he's observing. He's very smart, very intelligent. But the wonderful thing about the King of Swords for him is that he's a very good chess player, very good poker player, because you never know what he's thinking or what he's going to do. You don't know what his next move is. Okay, but he's very, it reminds me of the Emperor. The Emperor is someone who is very patient, very calm, can play the game as long as it needs to be played, and not one that you're probably going to defeat in the end. He's got you, okay? He's going to win. I do feel like this is one of the officers working on this case, and I do think that they've been diligently working behind the scenes. They don't say anything anymore. They don't come out. They haven't done a press conference, and they're really you can't tell what they know based on how they present themselves, but I think that they know a whole lot more than what they have led on to make us believe. So I do think that there is somebody working on this case diligently, and I do believe that these women are going to play a huge role in this man's, his world coming to an end. And then you get that Two of Cups. I mean, what better card to end on than the Ten of Cups? This is that's again that happy ending card. I think it represents the family that he has, okay? The family that he once had, that happy life that he could have had, that he once had. And, you know, you've got the Rainbow Bridge there up at the top. And so I do feel like I feel like that represents closure in this case, and closure for the families that were affected by this. Closure for the girls. I do think that this is a good card to end on, and I think I'm going to end it there. But, you know, I do think that this case is going to be solved. And I will say again, I'm going to go through the list. So I've been making my list as I go along. And these are the characteristics that I'm sticking to for myself. You don't have to agree, and there could be things that you've seen in the cards that I didn't see. That's the beauty of tarot, guys. That's the beauty of the cards, okay? You can use the quote-unquote book definition, your own intuition and what you feel the card is telling you, and you can use the imagery. Or one or the other, or a combination of all of the above. It doesn't really matter. It's what you feel that you're getting from those cards. Anybody can read tarot cards, guys. If there's a card that I'm showing you and you're looking at that card and you're seeing, oh my God, why doesn't she say this? Why doesn't, oh my God, it's so clear. That's the great thing about tarot cards. So I encourage you to look at the cards. I encourage you to pause the video, stop, stare at the cards, give it a good couple of minutes, and then comment below, or not. It's up to you. But, you know, there's something in those cards that they're there for a reason, and everybody picks them up differently. So if there's something that you've seen and I didn't, that is awesome. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So first of all, I'm wondering if the wife is blonde. I think that he has more than one child, possibly 3. Definitely the oldest child, I think, is a girl. And then I think that either the middle child or the youngest child is going to be about 4 or 5 at this point. I do believe that they have more than one dog. I think that they have a cat or maybe 2. There's something about the area that they live in. I almost want to say it's kind of like a farmhouse type style. You know, it's something that has a couple of acres. It's something that could possibly have livestock, cows. There's definitely something going on with maybe an apple orchard nearby. You know, maybe they have a couple of apple trees on their property or something like that. The wife may like to bake. I think that he also may have a sweet tooth. I think that he likes sweets, in particular cake. I think that he wears an odd-shaped hat. There's something about the color red coming through. But I do think that he wears hats. I think that he is a hat person. He is probably not seen very often without a hat. So this is somebody that you'd probably take a second glance, or maybe not even recognize them if they didn't have their typical hat on. And I do think that he, you know, goes back and forth between having a beard and no beard. I think he can go either or. It's not uncommon, and it would not raise any flags if one day he shaved his beard, or one day 3 weeks later he had a beard. I think that he does kind of flop back and forth between the two. So that's what I'm getting with this guy. So again, you know, if anybody lives in the area and they're watching this video, if they have any kind of person in mind with those things, you know, that, I mean, it's not evidence, it's not hard facts. You can't call in and report a guy because, you know, a tarot reader on YouTube said that he had 2 dogs, and, you know, Bob down the road has 2 dogs and an apple tree in his yard. So I do realize that, you know, that's not possible to do. But for your own for your own mindset, you know, if you're living in that town and you have the ability to say, oh my God, I think that this person is literally, you know, whoever, Tom, okay? I think that she just described Tom. This is Tom to the T, and I've been suspecting Tom for the past 4 years. Just be vigilant. Just be careful. You know, I don't know. But I do feel like, rest assured, this case is going to be solved. I do believe it's going to be solved. I believe that in my whole heart of hearts. This case is going to be solved, and I think that it's closer to being solved than we think or we suspect, okay? I think that there are people still diligently working on this case behind the scenes. They don't talk about it, but they are working. Just because they're not coming out and doing press conferences doesn't mean that they're not working hard on it, and I think that they are. And that Tower card really tells me, and that Four of Swords card really tells me that he is on his way down. This guy is not in a good position. He is on his way down. His world is crashing down around him. All hell is breaking loose for this guy, and it should. It really should. So, you know, let's just keep praying and pray that this guy, you know, is arrested and faces the consequences that he deserves. So, okay guys, thank you again for watching this video, especially if you watched all 50 minutes and 56 seconds of it. I really, truly appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. And again, I apologize so much about the volume. I'm working on it. I'm ordering a mic, okay? I'm going to be using this so that you guys do not have to wear your earbuds watching this. I really, really, truly apologize, and I appreciate the feedback. Again, like I said, especially the kind feedback. I did have a couple of very rude comments, but that's it's par for the course. It's no big deal, I guess. But I do take your guys' suggestions seriously, and I am working on getting a mic. I'm just really at this point trying to decide which kind I need to get and which kind would be the best to get. I don't know. Basically what I'm doing is I'm asking my children what kind I should buy, and reading Amazon reviews at this point. That's how I'm deciding. That's my research right there. But anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another, and I will see you next time. Thank you very much.